part of the draw. Ben Johns to start us off.
Yeah, definitely some upsets in that part of the draw. So Ben has actually played, I think, John Lucen. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name, but I'll take a stab at it. Goins?
That's a good guess.
Yes, it looks like Goins. He played him in Virginia Beach last year, and I apologize if I butchered that name. I think Ben, if memory serves, in Virginia Beach, he beat him badly in the first game, and then he had a whole host of match points, probably like 10 or 12 before he finally got the second game, and it ended up being quite close.
Oh, tough bounce for Rafa off the tape, couldn't scramble it.
0-1.
Well, the whole court to work with there, but the wind kind of picked up. Not able to keep that one in.
Speaking of upsets, Colin, Connor Garnett in a third game battle against Max Freeman as well, elsewhere in action.
1-1.
Yeah, that match is actually on Grandstand, which is right next to us, and I've been hearing the crowd from over there, so it is definitely a tight one.
Oh, nice. Rafa Hewett finds the open pocket. He's shifty like that.
Yeah, he's definitely got some wristy shots that can be hard to read, and again, that would be a right-hander's forehand and getting that second hand on the paddle and hiding it well.
Flat out. One. Point. Two, 1.
And that's a great example of
Point.
Rafa opting to stay back. And even though he hit a quality passing shot on that first shot, Ben's stretch volleys are so good, he's not going to miss that, and then eventually working himself to a positive position. Boy, that took a right turn sharply.
Four, 1.
And more stretch volleys from Ben. Like, not easy to handle. You kind of take it for granted that he's making those and keeping them low, but a lot of other players would have a tough time handling those and putting them in a safe spot.
5-1.
But I think that's one of Ben's biggest strengths on the singles quarter, to those stretch volleys that he can hit while off balance. Rafa taking a slap at the ATP, falling a little bit short, but really aggressive roll drop from Ben there with the two-hander.
Welcome back to the round of 16 action. Ben Johns with a healthy 7-1 lead on Rafa Hewitt. Michelle McMahon and Colin Johns in the booth with you. No better person to get insight from than the brother of Ben Johns.
7-1.
So, what do you think the most underrated aspect of Ben Johns' game is?
Sorry, you said underrated, Michelle?
Mm-hmm.
Underrated, I would say, what I was just referring to. His stretch volleys under pressure in singles, probably one of his most important shots to success. We have exhibition going now. But I think that's a little bit overlooked, just because he does it so smoothly and so well. You kind of don't appreciate just how difficult some of these shots are.
Wow, such a good drop on the backhand side to take the first. 11-1 in a third as well. Get you that result in a moment. Ooh, good effort from Rafa Hewett. It's wide. Max Freeman got the win over Connor Garnett. The 38 seed is moving on. Wow. So you've got George Rangelov also taking out Gabe Tardio, excuse me.
0-0.
So it is a 40 seed city in the round of 16.
Yeah, a lot of upsets, and you do see that in crazy conditions like you have today, where it's very, very windy. You'll see certain seeds go down. I mean, what was Connor, the 2 seed in this one? So definitely a big upset.
Point.
And Freeman saved match point against to take it over Connor Garnett.
12-10 in the third. That's a good effort.
Flat out. 0-2.
Rafa misses the gimme there.
Two zero.
A little cat and mouse. What a play from Ben Johns.
Threads the needle down the line. That's pretty darn good.
3-0.
It's a nice ball and a round of applause from Ben Johns over to Rafa Hewett.
0-3.
It's a nice dipping passing shot there. Rafa only hitting that maybe half speed. Closing behind it, putting pressure on Ben.
1-3. Got out. Three one. Flat out.
It looks like Rafa thought about coming forward off that return. Hesitated, decided to stay back, and worked out for him.
1-3.
Boy, the wind really picking up there.
Flat out.
Ben almost dumped that volley in the net. Definitely a shorter volley than what he intended, but Rafa overhitting the next one.
3-1. Flat out.
Yeah, the wind is gusting through quite heavily on center court. You can probably hear it in the microphones as well. Nice coverage from Ben Johns. Picks the perfect spot as usual.
Yeah, that's one of those sort of hard to see, really tough shot where Rafa's stretching him out and cutting the ball into the corner, taking enough pace off to get it down as Rafa's trying to cut that ball off.
Point. 4-1.
Nice. What a volley and explosion from Rafa Hewett.
One, 4.
Ben asking Rafa if it was out. Rafa graciously telling him it was indeed wide.
4-1.
That one's not wide. What a shot from Rafa Hewett. Crowd is engaged for that one.
Yeah, not an easy shot. Opting for the two hands, and that's a really easy one to pull wide and measures it perfectly.
1-4. Point. 2-4. Right out. 4-2. Point.
And as you know, we're inching up closer to the wind gust
5-2.
limit. Can only have 18-mile-per-hour winds, and we are at 17.4 here in Cape Coral.
Is that an official reading from the meter of Don Stanley? We got to get him out there. It's like he's trying to predict the weather with his wind meter sometimes. Wow, that's a nice shot.
Right out.
Rafa just takes that ball so early. I mean, Ben's relatively close to that, but totally going the wrong way and not able to reverse his momentum.
2-6.
Wow, another one out of reach.
Point.
And a great touch from Rafa Hewett.
Three, 6. Point.
And you can see that return. That probably would have landed near the baseline in normal conditions, but I think that might have even landed in the kitchen.
4-6. Point.
And this is good pressure from Rafa, just trying to hit through these conditions right now, getting Ben to miss a couple volleys.
5-6.
So there's some scoreboard pressure.
Flat out. Six, 5. Point.
What is even your approach? Is there anything that you can focus on with
7-5.
the wind conditions as far as tactically speaking?
So I always found in conditions like this where one side is pretty much guesting one end to the other, so you're either with the wind or against it. When you're against it, you really have to use drops to your advantage. So hitting more roll drops, I think, even offensively, not just defensively, because you're not going to be able to hit through the conditions nearly as well when you're against the wind. Oh, it's a nice point. And then conversely, when you're with the wind, making sure that you're very aggressive with your serves and your drives, and especially your returns, because you can really put them in some bad spots.
9-5.
When it's aided by the wind, you get more behind your ball, and you can get people to miss more volleys if you're aggressive on those thirds. It's just very easy to.
Wow.
Oh, that's a nice cover.
Thumbs up from Rafa, too. It almost seems like the wind is going east-west on the court.
I think it is a little bit here, but for the most part, I think it is
10-5.
across the court. But it has changed a little bit, too. Sometimes when you get in the stadium, it can swirl a little bit. And that's too good.
And Johns seals the deal, takes it into 11-1, 11-5, and he is moving on